Hey guys, it is Zebrix here. It has been a while, but I'm finally back with another video. And today I have a special MOC to show you. It is probably the biggest one I've ever made. And it is a huge modern mansion. It is on a 32 by 32 base plate, but it has a lot of parts into it. And I actually built this back in June, but I didn't have the time to make the video. So for the first time in 7 or 8 weeks, here's another MOC video for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into this house. So this house, like any other house, has an interior and an exterior. But I'm gonna start with the exterior. So on the front you have a front yard, and in the center you have a few stones that lead to the actual entrance of the house. There's only one entrance. And then to the left you have a bit of grass, you have some flowers and a bush, and then on the right you have this custom built tree that I made, and you have some more grass. But then the walls are very interesting because they each have a different color. So on the front, starting from the left, you have a pretty tall column of only white windows, and that's part of what inspired me to actually build this house. And then you have this chimney that uses medium nougat and dark tan masonry bricks, and that was also another thing that I really wanted to include in this house. And that's actually a chimney, because at the top you can see there's a hole. And sorry about that. So moving on the right part of the front wall, it is gray and it has dark tan tiles, and since I ran out of colors, I just decided to go with that. And that is actually a shorter part of the wall, because on top of that you have the balcony, but that's the last part that I'll get to. But then on the right side you have a green wall, and I'm surprised I actually had enough green parts to make it all green, but it turned out pretty good. It starts off with dark green and then it gets to light green. And then on the back you have half of the wall is tan and the other half is white, because that's actually the bathroom, but on top it's actually yellow. And then the last side of the house has a blue wall, which is similar to the green one except that it's blue.
Watch this. Sometimes my genius it's almost frightening.
Anyways, now that we're done with Top Gear, let's get into the interior of our modern mansion. Anyways, as you walk in through the door to the house, you have a nice lime green rug, and to the front of you, you have a spiral staircase that actually leads to the bedroom, but I'll show you guys that later. And to your left, you have the living room, and you have a flower pot. And the living room actually has a red floor, and it has a couch and an armchair, which are both tan. It also has a fireplace behind you, which is why there's a chimney. And then you have a nice small circular rug, which I had never included in a MOC before, so I like that I remembered that. And then you have a nice flat screen TV. And across the living room you have the door to the bathroom, and inside the bathroom you have a shower, which unfortunately does not include a shower head. It has a sink and it has a toilet. But then if you go back to the entrance, to your right you have the kitchen, which is tiled white and black. And in the kitchen it's very messy. You have a few drawers, you have table space where you can just do whatever you want. You have a sink, and you have an oven, a grill, and a stove. Unfortunately, I also forgot the fridge. And then in the center of the kitchen, you have this custom glass table that I built with a chair. And towards behind the kitchen to the back of the house, you have an office space where you have a little dresser, you have an armchair, and you have an office desk with a computer and a chair because the guy who lives there works from home because, you know, quarantine. And you also have a washing machine. Anyways, as you move up to the second floor through the spiral staircase, which is also a build that I'd never done before, you have this little blue staircase that eventually leads to the balcony, but I'll show you guys that later. And to your left, you have this tiny dresser kind of table where you have a hairbrush, you have some kind of jewel, and you have a figurine. And then scattered through the floor, you have a few magazines, you have a pizza box, you have a Coke can, and then to the right, you have a guitar stand. And in the center at the back, you have a custom bed that I think turned out really well. And then you have a small dresser with a bottle on the right, and to the left, you have a pretty tall table with a slice of pizza and a mug. Now, the last part of this modern mansion, of course, is the balcony that is pretty big, and I wanted to make it as nice and as epic as possible since I didn't have space for a backyard. So as you enter, in front of you, you have this nice sun umbrella with 2 recliner chairs, and to your left you have 2 more recliner chairs. All 4 of them have the same custom design, but they're all of different colors. And then to the corner you have this big hot tub, which is a custom build that I think turned out really well and gives the build a lot of life. Another really cool feature of this modern mansion is that you can actually remove a lot of stuff from it, so enjoy this time lapse. Anyways, guys, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it because it took me a lot of time and effort to make it. And I've noticed that a lot of people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free. And stay tuned for more awesome content because I'll be sure to be uploading regularly from now on.
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine, ha-ha! Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Having got a lot, I don't need a lot, coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight.